Hi, Zizaran here with another Zizaran, and this time I am joined by the one and only Kripparrian, a Path of Exile legend and also Hearthstone legend. And the way these AMAs work is we have some questions already from Reddit, and we have anyone that's in chat live can ask us questions. And yeah, just at the moderators, and they'll put it in a document, and it's going to be approximately 1 hour 45 minutes that we have time for today. So huge thank you, Kripp, for joining us here today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. These are pretty cool, I guess. Why not?
Uh,
PoE's cool. That's the game you play a lot. I play a little, but I love to keep up with it. So I've kept up with your content and many others
that's awesome. And
along
you've
the
been
years.
playing a lot this league, right? Do you like Ritual?
Well, okay. So like Ritual's okay, right? Like I don't think people are like, oh my God, Ritual's the best. It's mostly like Ritual's just there and it's kind of cool and like the risk reward's pretty good. There's no like, okay, there is one stupid mechanic where like you click on the thing, it spawns a detonate dead torment and then kills you off your own corpse that you summoned with desecrate.
Oh.
There's that part. That's not cool. But like other than that, it's like 99% cool and it just feels pretty good. But I don't know. I really like the non-league update, like with the Maven, the way the Atlas works with the passives. Um, like I love this system, and in contrast with the Conqueror system, I hate that system.
Really?
I think Sirius is like the worst boss I've ever played in PoE, and the fact that you have to fight him all the time is ridiculous. And I think I would maybe not mind the Conquerors if it wasn't for those damn Baronite thaumaturges or whatever they're called, where it's like you're already doing something and you can't see the ground, and they spawn that laser beam barrage on the ground that you die in like 1 second if you stand in it, but you don't even know it's there half the time.
Yep.
Okay. See, I play PoE. I know all the basics here.
And speaking of PoE, we could do a little bit of history. Tell us a little bit on when did you start playing Path of Exile? Because a lot of new people might not know how like prominent you've been, and like you've been very important to Path of Exile's history.
So I started playing Path of Exile very early. I think it was a game that was recommended to me. So I played Diablo 3. I started YouTube's like, I don't know, like 11 years ago now or something, just making content for World of Warcraft. Diablo 3 comes along. I played that. Diablo 3, it wasn't a very good game when it came out, but it was like the difficulty was just like if you have like impossible difficulty, they're at like 99% on the impossible difficulty meter. So the challenge of the game was pretty interesting. If not for the first patch that nerfed everything by like half. So I quit. And then I was looking for a few other games. I played like WoW, and then I stumbled onto Path of Exile, which kind of filled the itch that Diablo didn't really. Um, so, man, I played PoE a lot. I played PoE for about a year and a half or so. But the updates weren't as regular because the game was like, I don't know. I think it actually officially launched within that period, but I think for a large part of that period, they were still just trying to get things off the ground. Like these days, it's like, okay, 3 months, where's my damn PoE content? I want a new update. I want a new everything.
Yep.
And like they actually deliver on that. But I think their focus wasn't really that back then. I think it was more fundamental of like getting the game to work, getting servers to play the game. A lot more fundamentals are happening, so the updates are a lot slower. And I feel I kind of burned through the game a bit too much because I was playing like 10 hours a day plus for that year and a half. The highlights was like racing content. Racing was really popular back then. And yeah, I had tons of race points. I got number one in season one, and you get like a demi for that says that. And I got some pretty good numbers in some of the other seasons. But around like season 3 or 4, I just kind of mellowed out, played a bit. I played hardcore back then, but it was a totally different game. Like it's not, it's almost not comparable, other than the mechanics of the game, which
Oh
is
yeah.
why the game remains familiar. What has it been now, 8 years later?
And
But yeah,
that's actually something I'm very curious about because back in the day, you used to be a little bit anti softcore, but now you're playing softcore yourself. How do you feel about that?
uh, I mean, you already know the answer to that. I mean, you see how you die.
Yeah.
There's very few deaths that seem fair. I like the idea of something actually on the line other than 30 minutes of grinding experience back if you die. I like that idea, but the combination of deaths being largely unfair, um, like my last death, my character has 11,000 life. Okay, my last death, remember how I said when a torment spawns
Yeah.
and pops a corpse? That's literally what happened. I looked at the replay, I couldn't even see it on the screen. Like I
Yep.
clicked the ritual, I went to the side, I started attacking, there's no monsters on the screen, there's no effects, and my life literally goes from 100 to 0. And
Yeah.
I guess it popped a corpse of something that I desecrated just in range of myself. And that's how I like if that was
Yeah.
hardcore, I would not want to make another character.
Hmm.
So I think there's a few too many unfair mechanics, and while I really like Path of Exile, my enjoyment for the game starts when I finish Act 10, um, because people don't really realize like I finished like 3,000 races in Path of Exile. Um, Now back then it was like Act 3, Act 4 for the most part,
Yeah.
but still like man, I have killed Piety like 6,000 times. Okay, that content doesn't do it for me. So when I would lose a character in hardcore, I would be like mortified that I have to play through the acts again. So I don't know. One thing I've suggested, I don't think I've ever pitched it to like Chris or someone officially directly, but like I would play a hardcore mode that is like halfway between softcore and hardcore, where like you would lose something, like if like a gear hardcore, for example. If you die, you lose every single piece of gear on your character, right?
Oh,
I think that would be pretty cool.
that's
Um,
you'll be happy to know that's actually something I've been pitching for quite a while for private leagues or races, basically
there
medium
you go.
core.
Well, it's not that medium. That's not halfway, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's very close to the hardcore.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's just
No.
I feel it's just a little too brutal. There's too many unfair deaths, and if I can only play through the acts one time in a league, that is fine. I'll do it once per league, but I'm not doing it like once every time I die.
That's fair. And do you think PoE 2 is going to be a big change for you then, with having like a whole new campaign to experience?
I think so. Um, it's hard to tell. I mean, I've only known one version of PoE. Even with the 10 acts, there's still really only 5. I mean,
Yeah, sure. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very, very interesting, especially what they keep in the game and what they don't keep in the game.
Yeah.
Um, so you talked a little bit about how you don't enjoy leveling new characters, but Fat Bubba underscore TM is asking, why is full-time ARPG no longer an option for Kripp? And could you describe an ARPG that would bring you back to the genre as a main game?
Mm, well, I guess a little bit of backstory because a lot of people don't know this, but I actually play most PoE leagues. I play like a bit off stream. I really liked summoner builds because I could actually play them while I was playing Hearthstone. I'd just like walk my character a few screens and then play some cards and walk my character a few screens. So I actually leveled in that like no gear league in Delirium. I leveled that similar to like 96
Oh,
just
nice.
while playing Hearthstone. So like I play. Um, but still, like it came to a point where after a month or so of doing that, I just wasn't like that interested. And Delirium was a good league.
Hmm.
So I feel for me it's kind of mimicked the behavior I've had with Diablo 2. So I played Diablo 2 like this for like 15 years. New league would come out, I'd play for like a week or two, and then I'd stop playing. And then new league would come out, then I'd play for a week or two and stop playing.
Yeah.
And I think the player trends that we see on Steam and whatever are pretty representative that a lot of people do that. Um, I don't know. Like if you ask me right now, could I play this league full time? I would say yes. But history has shown that like 2 weeks from now, I'd probably like maybe say no.
Yeah. No, for sure.
That's just kind of how these games work. You get like really into it, and then it falls off, and then new league comes out, you get into it again. It seems like a very cyclical game, right? And Ranya's the same. I've been playing with Ranya last few leagues. She's played a good bit off stream. Actually, not this league. This league she had a bunch of stuff going on, and they caught her a few bad times. She's played a good bit this league, but the last league, she played off stream for like 2 months or something. Like she played way more than I did. So she's getting to the game. She likes it. I think she'll pick it up on stream again one of these days.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's pretty fun because I get to experience the game on many different levels that aren't just playing the game. Like I kind of I don't know how they say it, like vicariously play the game through her in a way. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I still have to try to gear her up and I try to give her like an experience where she can build on learning and improving the skills in the game because I mean, I think most people that are successful in PoE, they're just like fanatic about looking things up on like Reddit and like PoE wiki and stuff like that. And she's not like that. So like I'm like that little paperclip on
Oh,
word
right.
98.
Clippy. Oh, you're Ranya's Clippy.
Actually,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's really good. I mean, it's sort of like it's a bit like watching a TV show with somebody that hasn't seen it before, and like you already know what happens, and you're like excited to see like their reactions. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Sir Marcus is asking Kripp, how PogChamp were you when you were PogChamp?
That was pretty pog, but those things don't happen all at once. They're designed to be like, we tweet it, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm the new PogChamp. And then it's like, oh my god, people just learn it all at once. And the way it works more is like a bit of a lengthy back and forth over a period of like 8 days, and like Ranya's doing most of the conversation through email, and it's like, okay, we'll make this work. So it's not, and on the back end, things don't happen on like the hype sauce level, so it wasn't like a PogChamp moment.
Yeah.
It was mostly that I was encouraged to it because when the thing happened that they dropped the original PogChamp, I literally took like 1 minute to snap a photo, just try to mimic the pose, and it seemed to get quite a lot of traction on Twitter. So yeah, if not for that, we probably wouldn't have.
Wow.
Really
Yeah, no, like I've seen like I keep seeing people bring it up in my chat a lot where they're like they should just make Kripp's PogChamp the main one. That was like one of the favorite ones, so that it was a really good emote.
So there is like a panel of judges, and I think it includes Simon Cowell. Like they're really top level judges on live stream fails, and what they do is they really go ham and criticize the hell out of every single PogChamp emote that has ever been existed on this website.
Yep.
And the really harsh criticisms that I think might be true for my emote is that if you have a mustache, it really takes away from the pog. Because like it draws the attention away from the lips, so it doesn't quite like vividly express that emotion. It's basically discrimination against stashes, but we can't blame anyone because it's like a visual thing. So
wow.
I can only be salty about
That's
it.
very high level criticism too. That's like you can see they've really put a lot of thought into this. That's awesome. Juice Brewski is asking Kripp, if you could force Murlocs in Path of Exile, would you?
Well, isn't that what summoner builds are?
Kinda.
A zerg of flailing idiots killing things for you.
Especially with
and
all the
poison.
sounds. Take it or don't is asking Kripp, do you have any ideas to make Path of Exile more stream friendly?
Oh, that's pretty tough. I think one of the big things would be like encoding things on Twitch. I think would go a long way. I think motion encoding is pretty crap, and I'm not blaming Twitch for that. It's just the bitrate limitations are not that optimized for stream media. People don't really admit it, but like the quality of audio and visuals for something they watch for a long period of time is hugely important.
Yeah.
So PoE is like the worst for encoding because when you move your character one step, every single pixel on the fucking screen moves. So you get terrible, like, I don't know. I'm not saying, oh, there's totally a better way to do this. I'm not saying that, but like the limited bandwidth for transcoding on streams hurts games like Path of Exile the most, and that's kind of a big deal, I think. Also, I don't think ARPGs are super watchable, but I don't have a solution for that one. I mean, you let me know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does do pretty well, but it is also a bit of a it's a bit of a older, like it's more like I think the average age of my audience I think is 27 or 28. So it's definitely
Yeah,
like an older crowd that plays and watches ARPGs. I mean, it
I
just
got you beat on that. Mine's like plus 6 or 7 years on that.
really wow.
Yeah, my average is early 30s.
Oh. And do you still play any of the other like card games like Magic or I don't even know what other ones there are anymore?
I played Magic for a really long time, and I started playing Magic the Gathering Arena, and then they sponsored me, so I played a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena. I feel like while it's a very good game, it still kind of hits that same desire to play a card game that I would say is often quite filled by Hearthstone. Um, I don't know. I mostly play to keep up, see a new set, see how things are evolving in the card game space, but I don't put in like many hours on other card games for the reason that I play Hearthstone.
Yeah. And did you before Hearthstone came out and stuff, have you played lots of like Magic, Pokemon, Lord of the Rings, etc. in real life?
Oh yeah, I actually show people my collection. My
Oh, that's
Pokemon
awesome.
card collection from when I was in junior high is now worth like $100,000.
Oh wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
That
I have like
like
first edition Mewtwo, Hitmonchan. Like not I don't have like a first edition Charizard,
yeah.
but like I don't know. It feels really good to know that it's valuable because when I was like a kid in junior high, my parents are like, "Oh my God, you're wasting more of our money." And like almost all the cards I have are cards that I like myself opened from packs. So it's
Oh,
not
that's
like
cool.
I went to eBay and like bought a first edition Charizard. It's like, yeah, a first edition Charizard. Don't you wish you had one of these? No, it's like, every single card that I have is one that I remember, opening and playing when I was a kid. So I mean, those things could be worth $1 million. They're still staying in my basement.
Wow, that's pretty cool. It's kind of sad because I have a lot of like the older Pokemon cards and stuff, but the problem is that to the best of my knowledge, there was never any first edition cards in Norway. That was like just like America, Canada, etc. Or
Are yours in English at least?
yeah.
Well, some of the holos, even non-first edition, are worth a ton.
Oh really? I have a
Oh
second
yeah.
edition. I have three Charizard second edition, one misprint.
Is the misprint shadowless or is it an actual misprint? Because the the misprints that other people can get are valuable. Bad printing quality is not exactly called misprint. They're just called
I
crap.
don't know. I can go grab it. It'll take me like less than 10 seconds, but
Okay.
okay,
Well,
hold on.
I'm glad you have your Pokemon cards on such
Yeah.
short standby. Let's have a look. It's just called crap. No, if something's like off center, it's like a misprint, but no one wants it, right? There's like misprints with like lines on the holograph part. Those are not desired. Those are worse than normal.
All
So
right.
it's mostly if it's a misprint that other people have. So like the big two misprints before you show it, okay? Before you
Oh.
show it. Okay. So I didn't see it. Oh, I saw it. Okay. The big two misprints for the original set are shadowless, which was like because it was basically the first run. Okay. A little bit of backstory.
Uh-huh.
The reason I bought Pokemon cards to begin with is because I played Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast. They made really high quality cards. So the fact that Pokemon commissioned Wizards of the Coast to make their cards was a really big selling point. That's why I have first edition cards because I knew they would be
Ah.
Pog. Okay. Now, the reason there's a lot of misprints in the first set is because Wizards of the Coast was testing different printing practices because it was the first set, and it was when the Pokemon show was getting pretty good ratings, so they wanted them out ASAP.
Ah.
So these are the two main misprints that are valuable because they are rare, but more than a few people have them, which means there's like a market for it. So it's like a higher rarity, and they're like visually appealing. So the first one is shadowless. So the yellow border, the outside of it, um, yeah. So that has a shadow. You can see on the right there, it has like a dark shadow on the right side of the border,
Uh-huh.
and a light on the left. This is a normal card. It's a normal print.
But it's not
Um,
shiny.
no shadow, not. What do you mean shiny? It's
Like,
shiny. What the hell is
my
that?
other Charizards are like foiled or like shiny.
Oh.
But this one's like not.
Let's see. Let's see a side by side.
Sure. Also, they are in a sleeve. It's just like not a great sleeve.
And the other like version, let's say misprint, is the gray stamp, where I see. It just looks like a faded print.
No, it's in like it's like it's not faded. There's literally no shine on it. Like it's not foiled at all.
Oh. Okay, well that's probably not worth a whole lot then.
Yeah. But I have 3. I don't know. I just kept them because they were cool.
I actually sold my Charizards.
Really?
Yeah, I sold very few things, but there were people buying holo Charizards for over $100 at the time, where you could still buy packs. And that was totally worth it to me, because anytime I open a Charizard, I'd buy like a quarter of a box, just sell it. So easy.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like all the card games. Like, did you ever play the Lord of the Rings card game?
No.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Played Pokemon, BattleTech, Yu-Gi-Oh, Marvel vs. Overpower, obviously Magic the Gathering. I collected a lot of Marvel cards that were also card games, but I never played them. I like Marvel cards just for the visual aspect. I think that's the list.
Wow. So speaking of you know, like old things, Jarvis02 is asking, do you ever regret wasting all of those Eternal Orbs?
No. What am I supposed to do with Eternal Orbs in Standard right now?
True. I mean, they're worth a lot. It's like a cool memory thing. Do you still have Eternal Orbs?
Maybe like a couple.
I used all mine. Yeah, I wish I had more.
Can't you get Eternal Orbs from the Time Reliquary crap?
Yeah. You can. They're really rare from those, and there's not that many keys left. So they haven't done that in a long time.
Oh, you can't get those reliquary things anymore?
No, that was only for Legacy League, which is 2 years ago now, I think.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure how much they're worth
Not
now.
that I ever expected to get one when I played then, but
Yeah.
whatever.
They
Those were
weren't
pretty
too
rare.
hard to get in Legacy. It was a pretty good league. Oh, actually, I think I was curious about with all the card games and stuff. Did you see the Magic the Gathering ARPG card game?
Is this like recently announced or something?
Yeah, they announced. I'm pretty sure it was Magic the Gathering. They're doing like a combination of an ARPG and card games. It looked kind of interesting.
So my favorite Magic game of all time is called Magic the Gathering Chandrilar.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that game is insanely good.
Yeah.
And it only runs on Windows 98, so you have to run a virtual machine. But worth it, by the way. Yeah, I think the person who designed that game works for Hearthstone now.
Oh.
I'm not. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I met him and he said that. But yeah, that was kind of what I would consider like an RPG card game. So if they want to make a modern version of Chandrilar, I think it's going to be insanely good. Like people haven't seen those type of games, and those games are incredible. The last game that I played that was like it was called Hex, but it had a lot of other issues, and it also wasn't an established card game outside of its game. Like it doesn't draw in like if Magic the Gathering makes it, it'd be like, oh my god, Magic the Gathering, let's play new MTG game. Pokemon does it, oh my god, new Pokemon game. So like they instantly have that community boost, which is huge for a game, right? But yeah, Magic's version on it, MTG Chandrilar, is I think it's the best Magic game I've ever played. And man, I gotta say the same thing for Pokemon. Pokemon trading card game, the game on Game Boy is probably the best Pokemon game I've ever played.
Oh.
So yeah, that type of game is really hot. It's just I don't know why they've kind of they don't make them too often, but those are really good games.
I don't think I played the Pokemon game for Game Boy, like the trading one.
You might want to.
Yeah. Huh.
Look at your chat right now. You have zero disagreement right
true.
now.
That's true. Like out of old games, I just want games like Black and White back. I miss those games.
Yeah.
Cool Clap is asking, is it true that you intentionally shaved your head so that you can min-max your playtime in PoE by not having to wash your hair as often?
Okay. There are some benefits to short hair that include not having to wash your hair as often, but no, that is not really the reason. Look, if you don't shower for like a couple of days, you don't feel that comfortable. And like the moment I hit that, I'm jumping in the shower. Okay, it's not, I take care of myself all right. No, the advantage is like if you cut your hair real short, you can wait longer until you have to cut it again. And yeah, that's an obvious advantage. Asmon says otherwise. Oh boy.
That's excellent. There's a lot of Diablo 4 questions, unsurprisingly.
Sure.
Not Me Too is asking, with the amount of content Path of Exile has accumulated over the years, maybe Blizzard needs to forget about the PoE player base and focus on the casual gamer. What do you think Diablo 4 can do to be competitive with Path of Exile in terms of sharing the same player base?
Well, I think a lot of people who play Path of Exile are from an RPG background of Diablo. Like, let's be realistic. In terms of people who are going to try Diablo, it's going to be most people who play Path of Exile. I think Path of Exile has done a really good job developing its game and community over the last many years, actually, to a point where I think Diablo's not going to keep very many of them. So I don't think, regardless of how incredible Diablo might be, I think Path of Exile has a very good future ahead. But I don't know. I also want to point out, so because I told you I play like PoE leagues after I'm done streaming them and stuff, just kind of on the side. PoE is a great casual game. Not casual in terms of learning it, but like the game is really fun to play if every map you do, you have like a master mission to do it in. So like if you do 5 maps a day, the game is like pretty fun to play, by the way. It's kind of like a reverse daily system. I would say Path of Exile is very decent as a casual game if you're willing to put in a few days when a new league comes out at the start.
That's awesome. And the next is a kind of a follow-up question by Eep1373, which is, what is your confidence level in Diablo 4 at the moment?
I mean, I've obviously been asked that a lot because like I've played these games as well. I think Diablo 4 is only playable a little bit at BlizzCon. I've played a lot of Blizzard games at BlizzCon, in like demo stage or those kind of like things where they try to show you some of the game, and the games when they come out are not like that at all. And the starkest example is Reaper of Souls Diablo 3. So there was a BlizzCon playable demo of Reaper of Souls like 4 months before the game came out, and it was nothing like it. Like it was a Crusader demo, and the Crusader's resource was different. Like all the skills were different. They recycled some of the animations. So it's like, 4 months before the game comes out, it's like, hey, check out this new class we made. And then 4 months later, it's like entirely different.
Wow.
And it's kind of like that with many games that I've played at BlizzCon. I'm not saying that it's not fun to play these games and see what the game is like, but I've done that and experienced this basically every time, to where I know that whatever I'm going to play at BlizzCon is not going to be the same as what I'm going to play when it comes out. Now, with that said, the demo that I played at BlizzCon, I feel was very Diablo 3-ish. in terms of like how it played. So the playability was pretty clean, pretty good. I feel like Diablo 4 versus Diablo 3, they went with more of like the realistic, gritty graphics, which is kind of what Path of Exile does.
Mhm.
I don't know if that was an intent to try to take some of the market share from Path of Exile. The thing is, I think people who play Path of Exile play it for a large multitude of reasons, and the gritty graphics aren't the biggest of those reasons.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that is a wise choice. I would probably not go down that route if I was designing Diablo 4, personally. But what do I know? And the feel of these characters was very good, though. Like PoE is doing something like this as well, but a shape-shifting like character was very cool to play. So the playability was good. Now, this game is not going to be out for several years, and what we're going to get at the end of the day is not going to be like anything that anyone has played so far. So, I don't know. The way that I measure up Diablo 4 is like, how much better can an ARPG be than what's out there? So, how much can you improve on Path of Exile? And honestly, my answer to that is not much. I'm not saying it won't be a more popular or maybe even a better game than PoE overall, but if it is, I don't think it'll be by much. I think it'll be pretty close in the same ballpark.
Hmm. It's gonna be like very hard for them to keep up with Path of Exile's development schedule too, because they're probably not going to be doing that often updates.
Blizzard has historically been pretty weak with regular scheduled update content, but I think they've kind of adapted to this new industry standard in the last year or two. So we'll see about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want Diablo 4 to be good. It would be great. I don't have that much faith in it, at least personally. Stray Yoshi is asking, do you believe account-bound itemization is necessary for a game like Diablo 4?
Oh, man, I don't even. They do like quarterly updates on the game, and I don't look at them very much, so I don't know what they got going with economy and stuff. Um, I like Path of Exile's economy. If people would be bound to trading an item when you message them. Yes, I think that sums it up. I think the system is good if it actually was responsive and people were in good faith.
Are you saying you don't like messaging 17 people for one Exalted Orb?
No, I don't buy exalted orbs. I don't even waste my time buying exalted orbs. What I do is, instead of buying exalts, the next time I buy gear, I just slap on a mountain of chaos orbs in the trade screen. So that's how you can get around that absolute hell of a trade of buying an exalt orb.
It's definitely like a bit of a pain to trade at the moment. And would you be in favor of an auction house, or do you just want better improvements for the current system?
No, auction house a terrible idea. If Diablo 3 did anything, it proved that an auction house is a real shit system for trading.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I have an excellent question from 3850. Mr. Kripparrian, I have a friend that is a Path of Exile streamers, but he aspires to be a god gamer. However, he struggles with builds every league and they often have 0 DPS. He's in a constant state of stalling and saying that he will do the endgame material soon. However, he never seems to deliver. Chat tries to support him, but he argues with everyone, and I fear that he may not be the god gamer he says he is. Do you have any advice on how to help my friend?
God, what is even the cookie cutter good build nowadays? I don't even know.
Essence
Like
Strains is really good. Or Detonate Dead.
poison crit blade flurry something.
He'd probably like
No,
that.
actually, I don't know if that build is good against ritual stuff. It doesn't have sustain. You have to kill stuff really quick. I don't even know.
That's fair. That's fair. Shotslol is asking, Kripp, who is your favorite mod?
Well, you're really putting me on the spot here. I mean, if you what? Oh yeah, my wife's a moderator. Wow. way to set yourself up for failure shots.
Excellent. That's excellent. I like how you were gonna say somebody else there until she stepped in.
Oh, I was gonna say not shots, because you can't just like ask. It's like the kid who keeps asking who's your favorite kid, right? I mean, you know who it isn't. You don't have to. You quit.
That's excellent. The oncoming Storm 97 is asking, what comments do you have on Path of Exile Mobile and what it needs to succeed as a mobile game? A suggestion I've heard has been to make it a map-only type of progression system.
I don't know. When I played it, it didn't play very well, so that would be a good start. I was playing a melee character with Leap Slam, and Leap Slam would just go up and down. It was using it was using Leap Slam as like a DPS skill. So I mean, I don't know. Obviously, that was like over a year ago. I'm sure some of these kinks have solutions, and they probably have already been solved. But yeah, my initial experience was not very good. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it on mobile, but I do not think they were ready to showcase the game at ExileCon. Like, not really. Oh, and my game crashed twice. I had to finish my 15-minute playthrough on the third phone they gave me.
Oh,
so
no.
like it's some work. But the reason, okay, so actually I predicted that Diablo 4 will be on mobile since like 2013 or something. And when they announced Diablo Immortal, I'm like, yeah, I told you. And people were like, you suck, Kripp. Like, so the reason that Diablo Immortal is on mobile, the reason some of these games are going on mobile is, so if we go back to what I said, how good is Diablo 4 going to be? Best case, slightly better than PoE. Because, there's not that much that you can do to make an ARPG that much better. Like, PoE does a really good job. They're keeping up with cutting-edge mechanics, technology. I mean, there's just not really much to improve on. Yeah, there's like issues with like some bugs from time to time. Maybe one part of the league didn't work out, but that's just the end result of taking risks and trying to push the envelope of what you can do in RPG, right? But in the mobile space, there's a lot of room for improvement for an ARPG in the mobile space. Games that play like Diablo on a phone, they suck. So, like, I think I played Diablo Immortal, for example. I think Diablo Immortal is pretty good, but Diablo Immortal is like multitudes better than the next best ARPG on a phone. And the next best RPG on a phone is probably Path of Exile mobile, right? Like, there's just nothing there. So it's just a space where there's still a lot of room for development and ideas and games like these to grow.
And you quite like mobile games, like, do you ever stream mobile games much?
Yeah, I play Hearthstone every night.
But you don't play? But don't you play that on a PC?
Well, the best kind of mobile games you can play on PC.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, all the mobile games that I play them on an emulator. If it's a mobile game that doesn't run well on an emulator, I am not interested. Like, for me to seriously play a mobile game, it either needs a desktop version, a desktop client, or it needs to run well on an Android emulator. If it doesn't do those things, I'm not that interested. And honestly, that's the only reason I'm not that interested in Diablo Immortal yet. So the first playthrough, they didn't want to allow emulators, and I knew what's going to happen. I was holding the phone for like 2 hours, and then my hands hurt.
Yeah.
Like, so how invested can I be in an ARPG that I can only play 2 hours a day? Right?
Yeah.
What am I doing with that? Right?
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, for mobile games, I usually like Pandemic and Balloons and stuff like that, and Fallout Shelter. I wish we get like a PoE rework for like a Fallout Shelter kind of thing for Path of Exile.
Wait, didn't you play Fallout Shelter? Wasn't that your survival game on? Yeah, I only played that one.
Yeah, I love that game. It was great. I
Yeah,
don't
and
play
he plays
much.
a lot more games than I do.
Nice. I saw Ronnie posted a fleet with like a new camera. That was like really cool. It was like
Oh yeah, we got it. We got a camera a few days ago, and it's like the craziest thing. It records everything around you, everything, every angle to the sky, to your feet, every angle. It records every angle the entire time you're filming. Like you don't point it at anything, and then you take this. Did you play Cyberpunk?
yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the brain dance?
Yeah, where you can like move
It's
around
literally
freely.
that.
Yeah.
It's a brain dance in Cyberpunk, and that's when you make the video. So you go like here, and then you click record, and then you go like here, zoom in there, zoom out there, look at the sky, turn around to see your face when you say something, zoom in on the thing in front of you afterwards. There's obviously a lot of editing and work and stuff, so that puts me off a bit, but
Yeah.
the actual technology is unbelievable.
The file size must be insane though, right?
I don't know.
That's so cool. I remember I was like, sorcery? Like, what is this? It was so cool.
It is.
Uh, the future is now for sure. Speaking of the future, Shuma G is asking Kripp, is there any chance that you want to attempt world firsts in Diablo 4?
I mean, sure, if the game and environment within the game has that as a potential challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like think of it this way. So the first major patch for Diablo 3, it was like 3 weeks or something after the game came out, and it halved the monster's damage and hit points. Halved, right? And you're talking about a game where you sustain with like life leech and stuff, like life on kill effects. It's like, and like the block in that game was damage. So like your shield, it'd be like 50% chance to block 20,000 damage. Okay, so if the monster hits for 40,000, then you block and you take 20,000. But if they have the monster's damage, you block, and they hit for nothing. Okay, so think of it this way: if they release Diablo 3 after that first patch on launch, there is no world first. World first goes to whoever stays awake for 30 hours at the start, right? Like
Yeah.
there is no world first of anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you'll see a Reddit post, player XYZ world first to beat Diablo in Diablo 3, and then like 24 hours later everyone forgot about it.
Yep.
So like you can't just like world first everything. There has to be a setup within the game for that to be a worthy enough challenge
mm-hmm.
for people to actually attempt it. Otherwise, just clowns, right? It's like world first level 90 in World of Warcraft. Okay, dude, relax.
No, that's fair. It definitely is a lot more fun if it takes like days and people are struggling on it.
Yeah.
Pony Pummeler is asking Kripp, what is your favorite Path of Exile memory?
Favorite PoE memory? Man, I don't know.
Deep questions.
I don't know. I actually really enjoyed the PoE streamers and the gang and the developers and everything at ExileCon. If I could like wrap up ExileCon in one memory, that would be it, I guess. The most satisfaction I get within the game itself is like having the builds come together and stuff, but like it's hard to really value that over like, I don't know, meeting the people that you play with for so long. Like, I don't know, there's some people like, obviously it was great to meet some of the newer streamers, some of the like not new but newer streamers like yourself who's been playing for like 6 years or something or so. I don't even know how long, right? But I don't know, some of the people that I played with when I was playing Path of Exile like a long time ago, like I've done like a week race with Nugian where like I literally spent, God, I don't even know, like 140 hours out of a week doing maps with Nugian on, on Mumble back then,
That's
right?
awesome.
So there's like these experiences that like I don't know, you're just kind of like it's just bonding for life.
Hmm.
So to like meet these people for the first time, it felt kind of like when I went to BlizzCon to meet my WoW guild for the first time. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that you remember.
Yeah. No, it's really, really cool. ExileCon was like my favorite convention that I've been to.
Yeah.
Did you try the card game actually at ExileCon?
No, no, it was a bit too involved. You had to go around and do stuff, and we were going around doing stuff for other reasons.
That's fair. That's fair. Um,
I want to point out that I told Chris to make a Path of Exile card game after I played Hearthstone for like 1 month. I told him that like people would play the shit out of it,
yeah,
and it's so easy to make. You already have the lore, and you already have the people that want to play that kind of game. And yep, just make a card game. And
I would actually play a Path of Exile card game, I think.
yeah, he told me they just want to focus on the ARPG side. So yeah.
That's fair. But now we are getting a mobile game, so who knows what's gonna happen? Who
Who knows?
knows?
They
um,
made Divinity cards instead.
See, they already
God, they
have
need to make
cards.
less Divinity cards, okay? I'm tired of like clicking the ritual and deciding between like 6 different absolutely worthless divination cards.
Every single divination card in Path of Exile is actually not made by GGD. They're all made by supporters.
I see.
So it's like even that like life armor card that just gives a random blue with a life roll. That's somebody paid $800 for that.
Yeah, but someone paid $800 for that when there were like 30 divination cards, and I think that could give you a higher item level base, right? Doesn't that give you an item level 100?
No, I think it's
It doesn't?
64 or something like that.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
No,
there's.
no, no, that one matches your level.
Oh right, it matches your level up to 80.
Oh, it's up to 80? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, never mind.
But yeah, no, it's very interesting to see how many like, especially like the doctor, the nurse, the patient. It's like, ah.
You know that's gonna keep going,
Oh
right?
yeah. I mean, the last one is basically the
You
not
think it's
like this
over?
emo.
Oh no.
Nope, it's gonna keep going. But yeah, can
The
be
janitor? No, the next one up is gonna be like the
the band-aid.
no, it's gonna. So right now it's the nurse, right?
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be like the. I don't know what a good word is. I'm terrible with words. Like the nursing student, right?
Oh.
And then it's gonna be like the aspiring high schooler, you know.
The orderly. Uh yeah, no, it's gonna keep going. It's of course gonna keep going.
The
Uh,
intern.
you know, um Camby Lobacter is asking, hey, if you could choose one non-vegan food to somehow be vegan, what would it be?
I don't know. They have vegan alternatives for like everything these days, honestly. My favorite food that is not vegan before I went vegan was probably like baked sausage.
Hmm.
And the only thing that gives me like a craving for any food in this world that is not vegan is the fresh waffle smell.
Hmm.
Like if you go to like a mall and they have that like, waffle kitchen and you just like walk by it, like, damn, I wish I had some of those right now.
That is a good smell. That is
Yeah.
a good smell. Kiash Occultist is asking, Kripp, what are your thoughts regarding Twitch chat culture, such as the copy passes, sacrificing yourself to the Hydra, Rania decks, lookout, etc.?
Yeah, those are all good. I know. Like we obviously run those on our chat, so yeah, we think they're good.
Awesome.
I don't know. I'm always amused. I always see chat as like this like Zerg of lemmings. It's like why don't we just ban ourselves for the next 5 minutes? I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah.
Chat is like an entity at some points. Gib Order Kawaii Schoolboy is asking, I remember Kripp saying he really liked the Shoppers Drug Mart OJ, and I agreed. It was a very tasty OJ. Does Kripp still
Yeah.
drink orange juice? And has he found a new brand that he likes, seeing as the old Shopper Smart brand is not available anymore?
Yeah, they've changed that. I don't drink as much like fruit juice because it makes you pee a lot. And when you stream a lot of hours, I'd rather just not. So yeah, I used to drink a lot to substitute for actual food, which is maybe not the best thing to do, but you know, you can do it if you really need to. Yep, easy. Kidney stones. I don't know if they. Yeah, so I get kidney stones from time to time, and mine are calcium stones. I don't think orange juice contributed to those, but like I can't have. I can, but I shouldn't have too many. Like the vitamin C, like the little crystallized pouches. Like people dunk some of those if they're about to get sick, for example.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Apparently those are no good for what I have, and almonds are bad.
Oh, I've never had kidney stones, thankfully.
Oh yeah.
Not yet. Um, Gums2 is asking, whatever happened to Krippy? Do you guys still keep in touch? I remember the world first Diablo kill with you two, and it was a very exciting time.
It was. So Krippy actually went to try to stream Path of Exile a few years after that. I really tried to push him to like stream. I really tried to, get him to play games and stuff with us. But I think it was a time in his life where he was just starting to, get his life on track. He was finishing up school. He was getting married at the time. And I think he just had more of a focus on that. And, then when I started going deep into Hearthstone, I told him it's a good time to stream Hearthstone. He streamed Hearthstone for a little bit, and then after like a month or so, he didn't want to do it anymore. It was like a year or two after that he started streaming Path of Exile regularly, but I really think he kind of missed the window because at that point there are already some pretty established PoE streamers. Yeah, I don't know. So you've seen a little bit of Krippy from time to time, but for the most part these days he's just living a more normal life. There's a Krippy Junior now in the picture, and they're doing all right. They're doing all right. But yeah, it's not he's not too much in the public eye anymore.
I actually have an interesting question. If you weren't a streamer, is there anything else you like wished or like could see yourself doing?
Can I like just sleep for like 30 years or something?
Just sleeping? Like bed tester?
No, I don't know. I really like play games, so streaming kind of incorporates that. I mean, in a very large way.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a minor part. I guess for some streams, gaming is like a minor part, but not for most of these. So I mean, I don't know. Streaming is just something that works. I don't know. If I wasn't streaming, I'd still be playing games. So I don't know so I guess the question is, what would I be doing for money?
Yeah.
Maybe more appropriately. I don't know. I was a computer tech before streaming. Obviously, it's not really a job that you really want to do for your whole life, but it was actually pretty fun. I like doing it, and I don't know. I had passions and stuff, but I really did not enjoy school, so it's pretty hard to succeed without going through schooling and stuff in terms of like a career. I mean, I was pretty good at academics. I just hated being there and doing anything. So that's a problem, obviously.
It's the same for me, except I was bad at it too.
I like calculus, right? Some people say they like calculus and they don't like going to school. There's probably not that many, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'd be like in finance or something.
It's like the opposite of me. I hate math.
Yeah, they like numbers, but don't like school. I think that fits the profile.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's interesting. I didn't know you did that before streaming. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, like I'm terrible at school. Angels Thirst Q Boy is asking, will you come back to play racing seasons if they ever redo them with more alt art rewards?
I feel the game has changed a lot, like I mentioned, and I think racing has changed with it. The racing that I see is just different. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I'd enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
I liked racing, but I also liked playing the builds that were race builds. Like the main things that work with racing right now is like mines and stuff. I hate playing mines, right? Like
Yeah.
the good race builds before, it was like cleave, leap slam, right? Like just I don't know, cool stuff.
Yeah, I remember like the
Oh, that
cleave
is
racing
that?
days.
It's not mines? Smoke mine? No, isn't it
Well,
like
people do
isn't it
Stormblast Mine right now.
storm
Orbistorm's a
fire
Stormblast Mine.
smoke mines? What?
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly like Orbistorm, Stormblast Mine into like switching at other stuff at level 28. But the first 30
Mm.
levels is. Um, Tommy Shooks is asking, do you miss your old Terran Shiver Freezing Pulse or Power Siphon builds from the beta? And do you enjoy the game more or less now?
Well, it's just so different. I miss the game that Path of Exile was, but I don't know if I would enjoy it more than I enjoy it now.
Mhm.
It was just different. Um, I would say in terms of enjoyment level, it's comparable. Um, More likely, I enjoyed the game these days. I really like the idea of very few builds working, and the fact that you really had to work for a build to actually function at high level. I really like the idea of the scarcity of high level maps.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even played that much this league. I double favored it in a toll map. I have like 70 tier 16 atoll maps right now. That
Yep.
is unreal to me. I mean, in the early days of Path of Exile, in like weak races, if anyone found a mirror, it was being used on an Necropolis map. I'm not joking. They would spend like 100 chaos to roll a Necropolis map with maze, extra magic monsters, extra rare monsters, and extra pack size, and they would exalt the map. They would roll it like a tier 1 item, and then they would mirror the damn thing, because that would be the only way to come even close to sustaining maps of that tier.
Mhm.
And obviously, maybe that's a little bit too extreme, but these days, maps are just meaningless. Sorry.
That's all right.
I don't have my hotkey mute, so I'm panicking here to get my headset off my face.
So good. I'm kind of in the same boat. I definitely like miss a little bit when at least it was meaningful to drop maps. Now is a little bit too much, where it's like it's not exciting if a tier 16 drops anymore at all. So I agree with for sure. Um, and Shining Sifa is asking, are you on overall satisfied with the direction Path of Exile is heading, and what do you think Path of Exile's biggest flaw is?
Mm. No, I'm generally very happy with the direction Path of Exile is heading. I'm just trying to think of its biggest flaw.
People not replying.
The trade system is pretty annoying. Yeah. I feel there is too much of an emphasis on single target damage. That patch where they're like, hey, let's just multiply the boss's HP by 10.
Mhm.
I think that is pretty not okay, because the discrepancy is too high. Like, monsters that are not bosses are literally flask charges, right? Like,
Yeah.
they don't exist. The amount of considerations you need to make in your build to beat those is close to none. And the bosses are just way over the top. And I kind of get that for the multi-phase bosses, perhaps, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel there should be more of a focus on like 100% delirium style content, where like everything is kind of hard.
Mhm. Yeah, I wish it was more equal between things like that too, for sure. Rory is asking, Kripp, I and many others consider you the main reason Path of Exile got so big in the first place. In the time of your absence, the game has changed in numerous ways: cluster nodes, harvest, brands, new bosses. My question is, what do you enjoy the most out of all the new features? And what do you enjoy the least? Please come back more. That's nice.
Um, I really like coming up with a build, even though I mean, when can you really come up with a totally original build? But things I like are making something work differently. Like this league, I'm using, I can basically combine an elemental hit with a detonate dead. So like I do full damage elemental hit and I do full damage detonate dead. So like combining those two things is kind of, what I try to make as my own build.
Yeah.
And obviously, there is a detonate dead build and there is an elemental hit build, but I did kind of come up with the version of combining the two. So I like that. I really like build creation. I've played a lot of the last few leagues in the last like 2 or 3 years, but there were many leagues over like years that I didn't play and I made builds for. Like I just make a build and not play the league. Like that's how much I like making builds. Um, so I kind of like the multitude of the features they come up with because I get to, come up with a build, and that's my favorite part about the game. Even though a lot of these builds turn out to be not that successful, there's been a few very successful ones in the past, I think.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna love the next question. It's by Cow Lover Boy, and he's asking, question: will you again make some crazy secret build and fuck with us for 3 years?
Okay, the Kripp secret build, it got a little bit out of hand, but it was a really crazy build. It was kind of it was an Aura Guardian before people played Aura Guardians, but there were a lot fewer tools for them back then. I basically realized that an Aura Guardian can kind of be a solo character, and I used Animate Weapon as the skill. So that was the Kripp secret build. And that was one of those times where I made a build and did not play the league. And Animate Weapon at the time had basically no automation, so it probably would have been not a very fun build to play. But in terms of like the numbers on the build, it was beyond crazy. So yeah, I still liked making it.
It's always fun to make builds like that, even if they're not always the best to play. I remember the Uber Elite leveled to 100 with self-cast anime weapon, where you like literally had to click each individual anime weapon on the ground. That was like insanity. Seon is asking, Kripp, has any moment lived up to when you got your world first hardcore Inferno Diablo kill?
Any moment? I mean, sure. I don't know. I don't really regard that as like the best moment of my life or whatever. It was just it was just a moment of a big accomplishment. It was because like we really made the push. The context is really important to the kill. It's not like we were just the first to kill Diablo hardcore immortal or Inferno hardcore Diablo. It was that Blizzard announced its first patch to completely destroy the difficulty of the game with like 8 hours notice. So we basically made the call. It's like, can we finish the game in 8 hours, risking everything? And we thought we could, so that's what we did. Right? It's that simple. It was a Diablo race that we didn't even know was a race. And the circumstances led to a situation where no one else had done it, and it's just sealed the deal, right? Like we beat the game on that difficulty, and no one else did ever, right?
That's pretty badass.
So yeah, it turned out that way, and it's obviously something I won't forget. But the actual moment of doing it, it's just another day.
Just another day. That's awesome. That's badass. Colin Styles is saying, I remember the days when you and Bob and the crew would sit for hours and spreadsheet out builds. Do you think it's still possible for a modern successful game to have that level of discovery and I guess roughness? And do you prefer that sort of experience to one that's more mapped out and already discovered?
I like it when games are in a situation where you can theory craft them. Path of Exile is a bit of a strange case because you can still do that. I think a lot of people find the build, they just use it and even those that try to make builds, they find very similar or exact copies of those builds online. But that's just because Path of Exile has a community and a resource where people can post their builds. So there's just so much of that out there, but you still can. I mean, I do. Even if I play a very generic build, it still has to have my spin on it. Like I wanted to play a slam character in Harvest League. So yeah, I basically made a character, and I'm not claiming to like invent this or whatever, but like before the league came out, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna make a character that uses like four war cries to just get really, really, really big hits. And I think I was gonna use Earthquake, but then I tried that Earth Shatter skill, and I'm like, Earth Shatter is not so good. But then if you have like 160% increased area of effect, turns out Earth Shatter is actually pretty alright because it hits the same target like 6 times. So yeah, I just played that character only for like a week or so because I didn't like Harvest. But yeah, I mean, now that's a very cookie cutter build, right? I mean, now it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like one of the very, very popular builds right now.
If you try to tackle the game and make a build out of changes that they make to skills or new skills, you still get that experience of like discovery, even though the game is so well established.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a really, really beautiful thing about Path of Exile. Cubes is asking, Kripp, do you miss the no life days of World of Warcraft and especially Diablo 3?
I only played Diablo 3 for like a month, dude. There's not that much. I mean, there was some serious no lifing because the first week I played 20 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, Ziz here probably does that on a good PoE season.
Yeah.
So it's not as unusual these days, I suppose. If you can offload every other life's responsibility to other people, I guess.
It's efficient.
Yeah. I mean, there's things that I miss about it. Like I really enjoyed playing World of Warcraft with Exodus, which is my guild back then. But I don't know. I feel like the way the question is phrased, it's like, do I miss playing World of Warcraft 16 hours a day? And the answer is no, not really. Playing World of Warcraft 16 hours a day is pretty fucking boring. I leveled an alt. It was, man, I don't remember the level cap anymore. I think it was 85 or 90. Anyway, I leveled an alt to max level purely with archaeology. You know, that's the kind of bullshit I would do. That's what you do when you play 16 hours a day. There's not that much content out there. Like, yeah, I had like infinite money because I realized people are lazy in the auction house. So you just like print money using the auction house, and then you don't need gold anymore. And I don't know, you just do stupid shit once you start playing that much. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you have what is your favorite game of all time?
Favorite game of all time? Oh my god.
Only tough questions here.
Tough questions. I don't know. So many of them hit very different experiences and at like different stages of like development in my life. The first game that taught me how to learn games, I think, was Dark Age of Camelot. Dark Age of Camelot was not that popular of a game. It was similar to World of Warcraft. It was before World of Warcraft. It's better than World of Warcraft in almost every single aspect except rating. Rating in World of Warcraft was better. But PvE in Dark Age of Camelot was designed for a rate of 200 players.
Wow.
And it was also designed based on attack targets and levels. I won't take long with this, sorry. So basically, you'd have a boss. The boss would be like level 90, and you'd be level 50. So if you hit the boss, you're going to miss like 99.9% of your attacks, and when you actually land a hit, it'll hit for 1 damage. So the chance that you can kill it with like an axe attack is none. It is none. It is 0. There is no chance. It is not possible to do it. Okay. So if you had like 10 of your best friends, because your attacker count was higher, you had more people attacking the same monster, you could start landing hits and they would do like 5 or 6 damage or whatever. Now, if you had like 50 people or 100 people, you'd start to hit for more normalized damage, and that's when you could start to defeat these monsters. This is the main mechanic that made it very difficult to defeat the content with a few number of players, and why it was effectively designed, but it was pretty easy if you had a group close to 200 for 200-man content. The problem is the game wasn't very popular, and it was really hard to organize 200 people in a lag-driven mob in a game that's not that popular, especially when like the loot drop would be like one item for a boss that you'd kill. So in that game, that's when I started playing with Krippy. I met Krippy in Dark Age of Camelot.
Oh,
We learned to do all the content in the game. He would play 3 characters on 3 different computers, like with a KVM switch and stuff,
wow.
and I did the same. So we played 6 characters, 3 each, and we played. Our biggest success was on the PvP server. So if it was hard enough to get 200 people for one purpose on a regular server, on the PvP server, you'd have to do it while not alerting anyone else, because like 10 people trying to PvP you could kill and basically wipe a 200-man Zerg trying to do a boss.
Wow.
So, and you're talking about loot where, like, if you wanted to respec your character, you had to like kill one of these bosses. Like the respec stones were drops from the bosses. So basically, we learned to beat all the content in the game with just us 2, and we were like the only source of respec stones for an entire server. And like we realized there was actually like a cap amount of money for an account. I think it hit like a decimal, like what do they call it, a hex value? I don't know. Like one of those limits. Like you literally can't have more money. It doesn't let you have more money on your account.
That's insane.
And we stopped farming bosses when all 6 of our accounts had maximum money.
Wow. Oh yeah, maximum integer.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I actually never played Dark Age of Camelot. Did you ever play a game called Darkfall Online?
Darkfall?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
my
I've
favorite.
heard it, but no, I haven't.
It's my favorite game. It's like a super hardcore PvP MMO. It was very unfriendly to new players, so it died fairly quickly.
Most games are like that.
Yeah. Robo7 is asking, is there any problem in Path of Exile that you still can't believe exists?
Yeah, there's too much shitty fragments of things. I actually talked to Chris about this like a year ago, around Harvest League. I told him I did not like Harvest League, and the worst part of it was having to move stupid 1x1 items in your inventory back and forth and keep them as you were doing maps. And I just generally hated picking up and splitting and... Oh yeah, Rania wants the bot they have on the Chinese client that picks up currency off the ground. We need this.
Would you want that
Can
in
we
the game?
license it? Can GGG New Zealand license it from their China department? Yeah.
Would you want that in the
the
game?
big thing. But the affinity tabs came a long way. Like the worst part of the game for me was picking up stupid 1x1s and then sorting through them in the different stash tabs.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like game to me. It feels like cleaning your room. Okay, go have fun, and then now you have to clean your room. You have to clean your room before you can have more fun. Sorry, fun is over. Go clean your room now.
No, it's
Only for small currency.
Chaos and above, you have to get it yourself.
You have to get it yourself for chaos and above. Yeah.
So just okay, so like smaller ones, wisdoms. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very against that. I hate it.
Wait, you're against picking up splinters and shit?
Well, I mean, I'd rather. I feel like there's a different solution. You just like truncate the loot more. So like instead of dropping like 30 stacks of Brandis coins, just drop me like 300 or 400. I'm not a big fan of the slippery slope of adding loot pets.
Oh, I see. Well, you say you want 300 Parandus coins, but at the same time, when you do, what is that? The Harbinger map. What is it called?
Oh, beachhead.
Yeah, you do a beachhead, and you get like stacks of like 2 transmutational shards, and they're like mixed in, so you have to constantly hit the loot key to actually
Yeah,
sort
but
the
they could
items
just
on
drop
your
7
screen still.
transmutes instead.
I mean, I would. What if they had a spell that you click the spell and it was affected by increased area, and it would suck up all the orbs on the screen?
A loot gem. A
Loot
looting
gem.
gem. Oh, I
Ma
mean,
magnetize.
I guess I just like, I hate the idea of shards even existing. I think I don't understand why they invented shards. Like, why? Like, especially like kale shards, alk shards. Like, really? Does it need to be there?
Yeah, what about hydrosphere? What if your hydrosphere picks
I
up
just started looted.
all the currency, and then when it expires, it drops it all in the same spot, and it consolidates the stacks?
So you're just running around Hydrosphere and Spellslinger, and you're just looting the entire map, running around.
Well, let's be realistic. Path of Exile is like, okay, new league, time to come up with 5 skills, and now we have like 600 skills, and obviously you can't balance 600 skills, so make skills do stupid shit like that. I mean, that's how you'll get people to use them. Like, people will use a bad skill if it does 20% less damage and they don't have to loot. They'll use it.
Yeah, that's what Void Sphere should do. That's true. You're right. I mean, I think it would be more balanced if he has to use the gem socket for it, like Portal Gem. I'd be more okay with that.
Maybe.
Boykar is asking, what would you say about a Diablo-based card game?
Sure.
Is that like not perfect for you, or do you just prefer Hearthstone anyway?
I would say that I'm not that crazy about Diablo lore as much as I am about the Diablo feel.
All right.
And the Diablo feel isn't there in 3. Like, if you play Diablo 1, the graphics suck, but you really feel like you're in a church. Everything is thematically correct. Okay? And like, there's Diablo, it's like fucking Super Saiyan Goku, okay? And then you play Diablo 2, and you recognize the guy. It's Super Saiyan Goku 2, all right? It's just a little bit more hair, a little bit more flash. You know it's the same shit. You know it. It's got the same feel. It's good. It makes sense. Everything kind of fits in together. You play Diablo 3, and it's like you're like wearing, I don't know, like swimming glasses, and everything is like, you know, has round edges, and, you know, there's, I don't know, everything is like weird and stuff in 3 to me. It no longer has that feel at all.
Yeah, that's fair. I actually really do like the Diablo lore, but like you mentioned, Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. I feel like Diablo 1 actually doesn't have as much great replayability as I'd want it to, because you can't hold down mouse button 1. I like streamed it recently, and I played a rogue and I had to like click for every attack. I couldn't like hold down my button. I was like, oh, my hand is in so much pain right now.
Just one shot.
Yeah, but it's still so much clicking. It's insane. And speaking of Diablo 2, have you played Path of Diablo or Project Diablo 2?
God, Path of Diablo's Diablo mod, right?
Yeah.
I played. I did not play these. I was thinking of doing it, but I have played more modded Diablo 2 than people know. I actually had, when I was in middle school and early high school, before I started playing Dark Age of Camelot, I ran 2 mods for Diablo 2. I had a server. I had like 1,500 people playing on it. I made the Fury mod, and I made the Crusades mod. Jonathan, I think it's Jonathan, who's, you know, one of the big co-owners at Grinding Gear Games. I think he was the one who made the Median mod, which is only slightly more popular than mine.
Wow.
Back
I
then.
didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Diablo 2 was really easy to mod. You didn't need to know much about coding at all, actually. So it was mostly about replacing assets and doing it in a clever way that changed the game meaningfully.
Wow, that's really cool. The Path of Diablo mod is my favorite. It's basically it combines Path of Exile with Diablo 2 a little bit. So you have like Vol Orbs and stuff like that. It's really cool. You should check it out sometime. I think you'd like it.
Mm-hmm.
And what about other ARPGs? Have you tried a lot of like, there's Wilson, there's Grim Dawn, Last Epoch, etc.
I got pretty hooked on Grim Dawn like 5 or 6 years ago. Around the time it was like I don't know if it was released, but it was like a full game.
Mm-hmm.
When it was first like a full game, I played Grim Dawn a lot and I liked it, but I didn't really get back into it after I played it for a few months then. No, most of the titles you mentioned I haven't really checked out outside of watching a few players play. In terms of watching games, probably the best ARPG I've seen lately is Wolcen, because it either looked cool and looked like a decent game, or it was like bugged beyond belief, and watching streamers deal with that frustration is actually incredibly enjoyable.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, like it was very, very buggy. Actually, for me, I actually had a fairly
Yes, but if
enjoyable.
I'm not playing the game and I'm watching other people play the
Yeah,
game being horribly bugged is a good thing.
yeah. No, it was. But to be fair, even for playing it, I think that's what I enjoyed the most about Wilson, because there was you could get the Ice Nova in the game to 0 cooldown, so it would, like almost crash your PC when casting, and I loved it. It was great. You had to restart every 10 minutes of playing because it was so bad memory leaks. But yeah. Last Epoch is also a really good one as well.
Okay.
Grief UK is asking, how old were you when you first started gaming and what got you into gaming?
So the first games that I played were on my dad's home computer that he got because he worked at the university. I was like 3.
Wow.
I played Lemmings, and there was like this frog game, but I don't think it was Frogger. Yeah. So this is like 31 years ago.
Wow. Wait, how old are you? So you're 34, 35?
33, I'll be 34 this
All right.
June.
Wow, that's, yeah.
The early Pentium days, that ain't no Pentium days. I don't even know if that was the 486 I was using. This is Romania, dude. Like in Romania, people didn't have home computers in general. In Romania, to have a home computer 31 years ago, holy crap, dude.
I've been to Romania. I went to a place called Mamaia.
Okay.
It was not that enjoyable. It was yeah, not great.
What did you say about my country?
I said it was not that enjoyable. And I was 6. So this is 28 years ago, 26 years ago.
Okay.
It was yeah, it was an interesting experience. And there was like, I remember there was really bad inflation when we were there. So they were like, make sure you only take out money that you're about to use, because the money was like inflating that bad that if you went to bed, like it halved your money.
No, not quite.
But it was pretty bad.
I was there for the bad inflation. It was about 50% per month.
Oh, okay.
So it was, I mean, it was a situation where you couldn't really save money.
All
You can't
right.
just like, you can't just like keep your money in the bank, because then like next month it's not worth much at all.
Yeah, that's fair. No, it was, there were like good and bad things with the holiday. I got to play like, because the currency is called Lai, right? Or was, I don't know.
Lei.
Yeah. And you could play. It was like an arcade there, and for like 100 Lai, you could what did you call it again? Lee?
Late.
Lei. Yeah, for 100 Lai, you
Like getting
could.
in the bed.
Oh, Lei. Oh, for 100 Lei, you could play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I would like, and it was like very little kroner compared to an arcade machine back home. So I would just like play so much on the arcade machines.
Yeah, there were pricings that didn't make sense. When I went to visit Romania, I left there when I was 7, and I went back for the first time when I was 12. And this was when
Uh-oh. I think he's crashed. I just took off the screen share in case the camera drops. He's just thinking. Some say he's still thinking today. That was a dramatic pause. Hmm. Hmm. The Romanian government. His camera is just frozen on my screen. Like I'm still seeing this. This is all I've got right now. I'm just like hiding it until it comes back. It's okay, I checked in game. His character is still alive. Huh, interesting. Well, hopefully you guys are enjoying the AMA so far. I think it's a pretty great one. Stand by. Let's see if they've reached out on Twitter or something. Is Rania here? Oh, and there the cold roped. It's the GGG screen sharing. Their net dropped again. They'll be back. Okay. Quinn was not a fan of my question. Why not? Oh, he's typing. We got a new router for this, but still rip. Oh, damn. Yep, he's typing. Power out. Oh, their power is out. Their entire power is out. Well, we got a lot of it. We actually have a lot more questions to go. Man, we don't have that much time left either. We have around 15 minutes until Kripp has to go. But hopefully he's able to come back soon. Told you it was the government. You live fairly close to him. Alright. Where is he living? Canada. Can we pretend we're Kripp and answer for him? What's your take on Twitch studying game again? Yeah, I think it would be decent. Okay, he says let's try a voice call. He's gonna call from his phone. I'm trying to call him. He didn't pick up. Monka S. Canadian. Ghosted. This is the first AMA I'm watching. I would love to have a part 2 AMA with Kripp. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I do want to do these fairly regularly. Thanks, 30. AMA with Ron. Yeah, I do want to do a lot more. Let's see. Co Carter said he does want to do an AMA, but he has a hard time scheduling it in. I've already done a Q-Tag one, but we will be doing more. Did a Devin Nash one as well, which was a lot of fun. But we'll keep doing them. I do like doing them. We've done a Quinn one already. Done a Quinn one already. It was really good. Yeah, I'm a Devin Nash fan too. Co and Quinn. A podcast with Co and Quinn would be hilarious. Oh, that's awesome, High Life. Well, hopefully they get powered by Trainwreck's AMA. That'd be fun. With dance gaming. Yeah, that'd be great. I like that. Oh, we've done a JP one already. That was a really cool one. And I do want to do, Imagine if we had infinite power. 30 AMA when? Never. It would break the internet. Mods and Quinn at the same time. AMA with Mathil already on YouTube. Entertainers host. I am. I'm talking to you. Is it on YouTube? Yeah, all the AMAs is on YouTube except for the Lily one, which I can get on YouTube. I just need to upload it now because somebody sent it to me. Somebody recorded the entire Lily AMA. It's with us audio. When's the next stalling podcast? Quinn said he would do a new stalling podcast whenever Quinn said he would do a new stalling podcast when he kills Maven. Did an AMA with Destiny. It was really cool. It was really cool. So the current next stalling podcast is scheduled for 2023. Stalling the stalling podcast. Koibu? Yeah, that could be fun. We've done one with Chris as well. Need to do one with Bex at some point. We're kind of running out of time because he only has 15 more minutes. Yeah, we've done one with Turkey Cat. Damn. We should do one with Brittle. So far, I think I've only done AMAs with people that have a webcam, though. Flighty? Yeah, that'd be fun. Kripp is spaced right now. His power went out. Have I done one with Pox? I don't know. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully he comes back and we get to do a few more questions before he has to leave. I swear I did not sabotage it. It appears that you've been by yourself in this call for more than 5 minutes. Oh, they're back. He'll call now. Alright, we're almost back. Hello, shots. Alright. With this chant, I summon Kripp. We can summon him. You guys can keep summoning him now. He's almost back. I'm summoning him. Summoning. 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 Cuff? Why? That better? I'm summoning. This isn't working. He should be back soon, he said. He'll call now. I can't actually remember what question he was answering. Alright, let's see. Oh! Hello. Welcome back.
Hey there. I'm just getting set up, so I have nothing up right now. Sorry to interrupt. Are you still going?
Yeah, we're still going.
Okay. Sorry to leave you like that. We lost power, and I think I got on my phone like within like a minute, and the data connection was shot, which is very weird. And also the so we have everything on backup UPS,
All right.
but we were getting no internet signal from the company. So I think the power outage affected like a local internet station as well.
All right. That makes sense.
Well, I couldn't, like, I was planning on just coming back on my phone like right away, but I just couldn't do that. My messages weren't even going through.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, no, I just before you came back, I got like 5 messages from you.
yeah, that's because they were queued up in my shitty internet moment there. It is snowing a lot here. Like yesterday was the heaviest like single night snowfall we've had this year so far. So
Mhm.
I'm
Wow.
not surprised we had a power outage. That was just a very weird one because I think it may have damaged some, I don't know, maybe local lines or service hubs or
Wow.
something. I'm not sure.
Well, we can continue off where we left off with a new question by I See the Dead. Question for Kripp: if you get the opportunity to do another Kripp speech like for the Game Athlon 2014, would you do it?
I mean, yeah, that wasn't that big of a thing. Like, yeah, I went to like a gaming conference and spoke for like an hour and a half.
All right.
I had zero prep for that. I just went up on stage and said whatever I wanted.
What was it?
Well, it was in Athens, Greece, where I was living because I was staying with Rania at the time,
Hmm.
and they just wanted me to speak on some experiences as a streamer and stuff. So I did.
Awesome.
Yep, easy.
It's pretty cool. Jonka Bro is asking, is there any upcoming game in development game that you're looking forward to playing?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to see what they're doing with Immortal.
Hmm.
I think if they do like, okay, so oh, hold on, my light's not on. Okay, it's not too bad. When they announced Diablo Immortal, one of the question was, are you gonna make this on PC as well? And they're like, what did you say? We're gonna kill you now, right? Like, they didn't really take that question very very kindly. But the truth is that that was like 3 or 4 years ago, and nowadays the most popular mobile games, almost all of them have desktop ports. Now they are not primarily desktop games, but it is the same thing that I've been saying forever now, that mobile games are just primarily mobile. If a mobile game can be played on desktop, it is a colossal plus
Mhm.
to the players that play it.
Yeah.
So if Diablo Immortal wants to go in that direction as well, I think that game's going to do pretty well.
Cool.
And that is maybe the one that I'm looking forward to if they go down that path.
Yeah. Blue Robot Man is asking, Kripp, why are you in the credits for Path of Exile?
I don't know. I mean, I was a pretty decent. There weren't that many PoE streamers when I played it. Like I would get like 2,000-3,000 viewers. Twitch was a lot smaller back then. And I would put Path of Exile in the, I don't know, maybe not top 10 on a regular basis, but let's say top 20 games on Twitch. And like these days, you have a lot of streamers who, en masse, like, you know, can get that viewership in that level. But back then, I mean, I feel like an asshole saying it was just me. It wasn't just me, right? There was like Willy Wonka,
Yeah.
there was Nugian, but like if I wasn't on, Path of Exile was not in the top 20 games on Twitch. It just was not.
Yeah.
So I was that pretty big bump. And I think that helped its discoverability a lot, because you have to keep in mind, Path of Exile wasn't like, oh yeah, let's just borrow like a few $1 billion and yeah, we'll just make some game, and investors might get their money back and maybe they won't. No, Path of Exile was like, Chris worked with some guy that made a Diablo mod, and they made a game that was literally based on Diablo 2. And he like took a mortgage out on his like property to pay the salaries of like the few people that started up the company. So like, what they built is really like, it really started in like the basics of like a mom and pop type of business.
Yeah.
Right. And at that stage, I think for me to stick with the game for a long time, and it wasn't just sticking with the game, I wasn't just playing it. I was talking to Chris you know, kind of like as a friend, every other day or so, just what I think about the game. And I'm pretty respectful with things, so I'm not like, this game sucks. Well, what did you do? I'm gonna send the pitchforks after you. No, we talk about things. I'm pretty understanding on how things work, and I'm not the kind of guy that gets like offended if people don't take my advice. So I gave some advice, and I think Chris knew exactly who I was. So, you know, he took some of the advice, and he didn't take some of the advice, and he gave me some advice, and yeah, it was just like a good relationship. They offered me like a position at the company, but as a streamer going to New Zealand when they had no internet,
Yeah.
basically wasn't going to be a reality. So I mean, if they were a Canadian company, I probably would have taken them up on the offer, but
Oh,
otherwise,
wow.
sorry. So I
Wow.
mean, I don't know. I didn't do any one thing. I didn't work for them, but I think they put me in the credits because they wanted to, you know, pay some respects to the effort that I put to make the game a success, at least in the early days.
Well, yeah, that's really cool. That would have been very interesting to see what would happen if you worked for them.
I don't know. I've never worked for a game developer, so
Yeah.
people always think it's like, man, if I worked for this company, I would turn things around myself with my brilliant ideas. Oh, you would. Oh, you would. I'm like self-cynical even on these things. Like even if I'm part of these things, I don't know if I could really make them run any better or worse. I have no idea.
Yeah. No, it's hard. Daikuvio is asking, where did you get the name Kripparrian?
So Kripp, we killed some total noob in Dark Age of Camelot. His name was Krippy, Krippy, and we thought that was a really sick name. So the next character in Dark Age of Camelot that Krippy made was Krippy, Krippi, and I'm like, shit, that's a really good name. So the next Diablo 2 season that we played, again, we played Diablo 2 seasons like we played Path of Exile seasons. New season comes out, we play a ladder run for like a week. I wanted to be a Krippy as well, so I named my barbarian. I always played barbarian. Was Kripparrian because it's Kripp the barbarian.
Ah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Easy.
Wow, didn't know that actually. Buck W is asking, will you ever make a video on your Pokemon collection?
Danya encouraged me to make that video. I just kind of got a bit lazy, but maybe I should, yeah.
You should. That would be great. I'd love to see that. Alice is asking, is it true that you're 9 feet tall and that's a normal sized soda can?
I think I threw it out. I am indeed 9 feet tall if I'm standing on a 2 foot 9 inch chair. Depends. The little cans said, "Am I 9 feet tall?" Fine, I'll bring a fresh one out.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember.
But I slouch, so I'm not 6'4" unless I'm fully upright.
They do look very small. What are they? Is it coffee or?
Yeah, it's like a caffeinated fruit drink.
All right. Marky12 is asking, does Kripp have any intention of playing Ashes of Creation?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Let me check.
It's like it's an MMO. It looks fairly promising.
Oh, is that the one where like Asmongold beat up like a bear with like 600 people?
No, I think that is what is that one called? That's New World.
Yeah, that's New World. Okay, I don't know what Ashes of Creation is.
Yeah. We should check out the trailer sometime. This may be okay.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna do 2 more questions and wrap it up because I know you have something after this as well. And Mr. Caro is asking, what is your favorite vegetable?
Potato.
And I'm gonna wrap it up with the most important question of them all. And feel free to take your time with this one. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Sure.
That was the wrong answer. Ugh.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I hate it.
I would rather pick other things, but it's not bad.
Oh, no, it
not
is
bad.
bad. It doesn't fit.
It's not that bad.
I hate it.
I went into the dark side to try pineapple on pizza, and I'm like, this is not bad. I don't think I'll order it again, but it's like not bad. And the way I think of it is, if I have something and it's like a 4 out of 10, 4 out of 10 is not, I'm ordering it again. But if it's 4 out of 10, someone thinks it's higher than that. There's someone out there, right?
It's like 2 or 3 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
I didn't throw up, but yeah. Here, Kripp, thank you so much for joining us on the AMA. Let's get a big clap in the chat for Kripp. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And a big thanks.
I don't hear a clap from the audience. What the hell? I can see the motion. Okay, no, I can start hearing it now. Thanks, guys.
And a big thank you to the moderators for helping parse all the questions
guys.
into a document as well. So yeah, thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much
me,
for
Ziz.
that. Yeah, thank you. Kripp, where can we find more of Kripparrian?
Well, you have my Twitter handle under my little box on the webcam there, so that's very nice of you. Thank you for that. You can find me there, and obviously on Twitch, I'm NL_Kripp on Twitch. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and yeah, hopefully we'll do more stuff in the future. So
Thanks
so
guys.
much.
Take it easy.